My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Monster Train Last Divinity DLC. We are not going Covenant 25 random. Instead, we are going Covenant 25 Spine Chief Umbra. Spine Chief Umbra. So we just tick that across one and we're all good. Are we going to go Shade Splitter or are we going to go for Plink? You know what? I don't need to hear the sound right now, and my ears are kind of hurting, so I'm going to take the headphones off just a little bit here. Ooh. It's interesting. I don't usually hear myself roar, I guess. I usually have headphones on. God. It has been a long time since I've heard myself talk in this kind of tone without headphones on. Wild. Anyhow. Wormkin, Umbra. Shade Splitter or Plink? Maybe Shade Splitter just for guaranteed morsels so that I can try and set up a 2-floor solution. The Spine Chief's 3 capacity and the fact that they often want to be in the front makes it really hard to run a 1-floor solution with Spine Chief included in it in Umbra. So let's try this. Oh, boy howdy. That's a base deck if I've ever seen one. 2 copies of Echo Transfer, 2 copies of Perils of Production, 1 copy of Forgotten Trade. I can generate as much energy as I may ever need. We've also got Seraph the Patient at the very end, as well as Talus the Guardian. I have the ability to chump block with morsels. However, if I chump block with morsels entirely against Seraph the Patient, ultimately I'm going to start stacking up a ridiculous amount of melee weakness on the unit that is being chump protected. So, should be careful about that. Do I want to look at my Spine Chief line? Let's actually have a look at following line, actually. Merchant of Steel Umbra. Got another join here. Wormkin on the other side. Another Umbra even further down. And another join. Beautiful. Okay. So double Umbra front line or like a 2 Umbra floor seems quite likely. So if I'm going for a possible 2 Umbra floor, what, of here I may end up duping? Honestly, yeah, I may end up duping over there. Hopefully I find something expensive that I can pay for because we have the ability to generate a ridiculous amount of energy. Ultimately, multi-strike makes a lot of sense here just because we have the Echo Transfer, so double dipping on the damage from that is quite good. A trample unit? Is there a trample unit I can even get here? No, not really. Umbra Stone would fundamentally change the way I play, but I haven't found that, obviously, and I'm not going to find that for a while. I'm probably just going to want the tankiest line over here, and then if I get it, I'll take something different over there. Sure. Yep, tankiest line is the decay here. So we use that for a kind of like sweep on the lower line. Effectively the same thing that we did last episode, right? It's standing by itself down there. Morsel units enter with damage shields 1. That makes them significantly better for tanking. I think... I'm really glad that I took them in that order because I may have taken Teeth of Gold rather than Winged Technology. But now that I know that I've got the Spine Chief that's going to be sitting on the bottom line, very likely pseudo-sweeping the enemies, the Teeth of Gold is significantly less valuable, so I can take Winged Technology much more comfortably. Let's go to the Divine Boons. Continue onwards. Start a battle enemy units from each floor. This would be a lot easier if I had Plink, but it still should be okay. Very stupid. Spine Chief goes in the back line. Throw out a Fracture. I want to thin down these lines as much as is possible. 3 units come to the top floor next turn. That means they will kill a Train Steward if I summon one, so... I'll kill a midliner there. That's really unfortunate, that collector right there. Although there was no way I would be able to collect that collector at all. This wasn't possible. I guess I should get rid of these. Yeah, that feels right. 4 damage left there on the top line. So I probably just want to get the shiny Seward sacked. I should have left myself the ability to Echo Transfer there on the top line. May come back to bite me in a pretty significant fashion. So single Shade Split up here is already good enough. Morsel, sure. I also do want to fracture the back line as much as is possible here, because then they get to the top line. If I have a full stack of candies up here, that should make us pretty happy about that. There's no shiny sewers left in the deck, but there are a lot of shade splitters that I could easily use. Okay, so this one just gets sacked now. I think we do continue throwing fractures against the backline target. We can get rid of Forgotten Trade because it's not useful here. Really? After combat ends. Yeah, combat isn't going to end here. That's why this is messed up. Yeah, I was hoping those were going to die in the middle of combat there. Evidently, no. That said, we still didn't take that much damage. Shelter? Shelter? Shelter. Another Perils of Production. How much energy do you think I need? I would love a Space Prism. That would have been grand. Do I take Packed Morsels? I think I do. Because I'm going to be going for an Umbra Frontliner if I can find one. There's the multi-strike I was asking for. Twinstone Spell Chain Intrinsic. I could Intrinsic Packed Morsels just to bootstrap a unit here if Alloyed Construct comes to mind. Okay. One more multi-strike for that unit. I don't need to increase its damage. Honestly, Large Zone is one of the most likely upgrades that I want to take here on it now. Use the Divine Temple. I am going to Intrinsic the Packed Morsels. I can't Spell Chain and Echo Transfer yet. I just do not have the generation it would require of me. I could try and Spell Chain something in this deck. Like, I could probably get value eventually out of a Spell Chain on Forgotten Trade or Perils of Production, but the fact that I don't know what I'm doing with that energy just yet is telling me, excuse me, is telling me that I shouldn't do that. Okay, in the second area, what am I looking to do? Dupe? Dupe what? Dupe what? Dupe what? Whoa. I don't know yet. I may not even be duping. Another unit draft, eh? Enemies enter with 10 armor. Okay. We'll see. Give me a morsel in the opening hand, please. Beautiful. We get Spine Chief on the bottom line. Pack morsels. Get the Shade Splitter out. Shade Splitter starts propagating damage across there. Then Morsel Miner. Honestly, my damage on this top line is eventually going to be taken care of. Excuse me. I should still probably take care of some of it right now, right? No, I need health. Yeah, I need to focus on the health there, I think. Here, I can just chump block. Chump block to block those chumps. That fracture is extremely powerful right there. Ahaha! Summon the Morsel Excavator. Fracture it. It doesn't die, but it does give me the ability to use the Echo Transfer. Love it. Could I chump block with a shiny steward here? Yes, yes, I actually can. It takes 6 and then it attacks back for 2 on the spikes against the enemy there. Then this bottom line, I can just get that there, because obviously the morsels will go on the top line whenever I get them. Speaking of morsels going in the top line whenever I get them, yeah, I'm going to need to increase my fuel significantly as well, right? Echo Transfer can't be played this turn. It isn't present next turn. Okay. How many morsels do I have in the next turn? Literally just the 1. So that means I can put a shiny steward down and then plan next turn to fracture that shiny steward a bunch of times. Only problem is I decrease my energy for the next turn by doing so. Putting a shiny steward on the top floor, getting the Emberdray from it. And should I get the Emberdray from that, it is going to be pretty rough. Because then what? I Shade Splitter and then Shelter on the next turn. No, I don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Let's just get a Magma Morsel up here then. There you go, do more damage, Magma Morsel. Absolutely get him. Pop you 2 there, and look, I can, yeah, I'll Echo Transfer just to push more damage on that bottom line. I was trying to get the Echo Transfer played on the top line. That was the consideration that was consistently happening there. Okay. Shades must be split. Because you need fuel. If you don't have fuel, I will have lost. I'll do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Whew. Okay. You know what I really want right now? It's the... Oh, no. All of these are incredible. I don't know if I'm going to stand by this statement, should I ever have to reflect on it. But having played a lot of Wormkin recently, and obviously especially near the start of the DLC, as it was my main focus for a while, I feel like Wormkin might have the most powerful common cards in the game. By a country mile. They can accomplish almost everything, right? Like, let's use an analogy of Magic the Gathering, right? In Magic the Gathering, there are 5 different colors. 5 different colors of mana. And those colors each have their own kind of like soft domains, right? Blue has draw. Black also has draw. And then red has some draw, but you fumble a card and drop it out of your hand. And then green has like pulls out of the deck in a way, right? You know, and white has effects that give you draw as well. But like blue is the draw kind of situation, right? Like it is the domain of this, and then others can accomplish it in a little bit of a way, right? And that tends to be a split that exists across a lot of the I was about to say expansions, I guess, releases, sets for Magic the Gathering, right? That kind of like the splitting up of mechanics into the mana color that uses it the most, and it is like a core feature of that kind of color, and then the ones that use it maybe a little bit or possibly even not at all, that are in the other colors, right? This is all to say that I believe the base for Wormkin, I think what I'm perceiving here is that the base normal common cards for Wormkin can accomplish most things quite effectively. Whereas there are other clans in the game that are lacking things. Like, Echo Transfer is incredible damage scaling. It is ridiculous. Echo Infusion is incredible health gain. It is absolutely ridiculous. These are both incredible cards to fix faults that already exist in a standard line that you otherwise might run. It's got Draw. It's got Consume. Consume is a good thing a lot of the time. It's got the ability to pull back cards it's consumed. Is that in the base? No, it's not in the base, but it is after the fact, right? It's got a lot. This is not to say that's bad, by the by, because I also don't think that the Wormkin champion, especially specifically Spine Chief, I don't think is as powerful as champions in other classes, right? It's just interesting. It is interesting. I feel like they have, to summarize my point, a wider utility belt. So I really want Echo Transfer here because this copy is infused, which means it only costs Extract 1 to play, and it is something that I am going to need to play all of the time. Absolutely all of the time. I also want Echo Infusion so that I can buff the health of an alloyed construct as a frontliner, obviously open myself up to the possibility of giving it Holdover or Spell Chain or Holdover or Spell Chain or Holdover or Spell Chain, honestly. God, this is really difficult. It's actually really difficult. I'll tell you why. The biggest reason of that is it's because I think it's Echo Transfer, despite the fact that I already have that in my deck. So I'm narrowing my utility belt here, right? It would be take Echo Transfer, because these are limited by the floor I can play them on. These aren't. The Shade Splitters aren't, right? But also I don't really have the ability to give much infused to many of my other cards. So what I'm thinking is that Echo Transfer is going to be a card that I'm going to want to give Spell Chain. I'm going to want to give it Holdover, right? But it becomes really laborious to actually keep up the extracts for it without any relics that give us that, and without infusion. So I may end up actually duping that. Void Binding. It's infused. I can be an Emberdray deck, right? If we value stone this, we can then double stack it and get it to 0 cost. God, I wish I saw a morsel made here. Can you summon a morsel on this floor, create a copy? I mean, look, that's incredible for the alloyed construct. Let's be real. Absolutely incredible for the alloyed construct. Do I do it? I have 2 consume cards in the deck so far. A First of Kin being in that alloyed construct isn't bad either. The big problem that I occasionally run into with the alloyed construct, though, is just running out of fuel because I'm inconsistently generating morsels. If I took the Morsel Master and put it into the alloyed construct, I only have to play 2 morsels on that floor, and they dupe and they've got damage shield. It's Morsel Master. Am I going to commit? The question, am I going to commit here, is specifically, am I going to commit specifically to the idea of duping this Echo Transfer? Because that's the value on this side. Dupe that Echo Transfer. Alternatively, though, over here, what do we whiff on, right? Holdover goes on either the Echo Transfer or the Perils of Production, now that I'm going to be using Void Binding to actually get Emberdray. Double stack goes on Void Binding. Permafrost even goes on Perils of Production, to be entirely frank with you. Or Forgotten Trade. Consume Removal. Look, that could go on Forgotten Trade, but I'd really want to hold over as well if I'm doing that. And then, you know, like it runs counter to the extract plans. Yeah, I think I go to the Merchant Magic. I think there's so many. Yeah, that's holdover. That is holdover, baby. There's the value stone as well. Oh my god. We value stone the void binding. It's represented at 0 cost right now. I mean, I am getting engaged this pact, right? I almost certainly do, but I should check this Wormkin banner first. Easy. Yeah, no need for variation there. Sack you into the Alloyed Construct. Then in the Merchant of Magic, I give holdover. I can't give holdover to the Void Binding, right? That's just a card that I would want to double stack. Holdover has to go on a Perils of Production. The idea here is that I'm about to run an Emberdray deck. I will generate 0 energy every single turn. That is with the turn counter, and then I'm going to use Perils of Production to get it. I really wish I could reroll and look for like any of the other things right now that are actually really good for me, but I cannot. Emberstone for cost reduction, like this just matters. Like all of these Shade Splitters being 0 cost, incredible, absolutely incredible. I could even reroll and honestly reduce the cost of another one. And given the Emberdrain plan, it wouldn't be awful. I think it's a bit early. Oh no! We're going to do nothing. We're going to take Hef's Consolation. We're going to put that on the Alloyed Construct. Yes, it's 1 capacity. It's 1 capacity, which means there's 4 capacity sitting behind it. 4 capacity sitting behind it means that if I take a capacity after Talus the Guardian, there will be 5 capacity sitting behind it. I summon 1 morsel, it dupes. There's 3 capacity. I summon another morsel, it dupes. There's 1 capacity left. I summon another morsel, it dupes. I can get 6 morsels into the Alloyed Construct each turn as a direct result of that. It projects damage efficiently. It's scaling damage well. The big problem is that it cannot take damage. It takes damage efficiently. Taking damage as in to utilize it, right? Giving it damage, it utilizes efficiently. However, it cannot be dealt damage. That is the thing that we are going to need to find a way around. That is our big problem right now. We're almost certainly going Herzl Sword as well as the Unstable Vortex. Almost certainly. Back out here. Honestly, I could try and purge a Fracture right now. I don't think I will, though. Let's just continue forwards. She attacks every turn, pushes the attack unit to the back, but that's okay. I'm going to chump block those. We chump block these. And everything is okay. Okay, we're all good. Go there. Let's pack the morsels. Now, it's worth noting, I can't dupe all of these right now because I don't have the extra capacity. So if I put one of them down first, then I can get 5 morsels into the Alloyed Construct. I might as well use the Shade Splitter and see if that's better off for us. It's not. So I do want to dupe the Morsel Jeweler. So one of these goes down first. Alloyed Construct goes down. Dupe the Morsel Jeweler. Dupe the Alloyed Construct. Get the damage there. I want to chump block with this? No, I think I'll damage pump it. That's totally fine. I mean, it's knocking off a damage shield right now. Oh, but there's no reason for me not to use Shade Splitters here. Yeah, because they're not even going to die. Sure, I'll just pop a Chinese Steward on the bottom floor. And then just even consume the Immortal Trade. Like, that's not part of the deck. No. That's not what we do. That's not who we are. Now that we have the Perils of Production online, I can actually use it to just give straight up rage. Our damage on that top line is very good, and it scales extremely quickly. This is where it becomes a problem, though. Thankfully, one Shiny Steward actually it did completely block until this overcharged Apprentice leveled up right there. I still probably don't wanna get another one there. Yeah, I'm still gonna need that capacity in following turns. Shelter on the top floor, isn't that much. Just need the roots out there. To me, that makes the most sense. Let's get Perilous. And we also get some lifesteal with that. We've gotten very, very few defensive morsels up here on the top line. Not thrilled about that. It's okay, it happens. And we survive regardless. So how mad exactly can I be? Not at all. 2 12s. Yeah, I was wondering what was going to happen if I saw Wretch. It's a zero-cost generation of a bunch of morsels. The thing is, it's a generation of a bunch of morsels. If I can make this intrinsic holdover, though, I may never need another morsel card in the deck. It's also infused. I may never need another morsel card in the deck other than just this packed morsels. Although then I end up with the very little morsel variation going into the unit, so if I don't get good morsels in the opening, then I'm pretty sad about it. Blazing Bolts is nice, just as a kind of like damage. Just as a damage. Let's take the Wretch. Let's do it. I want Gorge, obviously, with that. There's no way I run 2 floors right now, right? No, all I need right now is more candy. And take the Light of the Seraph. I'm not happy about that. Draw would have been so much everything right now for us. Sigh. Let's look at the Divine Temple, get more information. It's a value stone and an intrinsic. In terms of removals, I mean, obviously the Shiny Stewards, but also the Fractures. The Fractures, at the very least, I can currently use for infusions on that top floor while I'm lacking the ability to get many infusions myself. Because I can throw them on a morsel, and then the morsel blocks that with the damage shield. Yeah. Jack Trips. Sweeping the backline enemy unit is huge. Very important for me. I don't think I value double stack anything here, unfortunately. But do I No, we do that with the Perils of Production 100% of the time. It guarantees that I can do as much Emberdray as I want. Still going to need more candy generation, though. Am I going to be taking that? Yes. So I'll be going over here. We can have a hold of a permafrost. Probably not consume removal. Maybe consume removal. Not consume removal, never mind. Go back and forth on that one for a millisecond before I get my senses about me. Jackstrips means this is a free 150 gold. Who turns down a free 150 gold? Spine Chieftain! Put that there. Good health on those. I need to get all of the health ones doubled. Probably not lifesteal, I think, here. It's probably the one that I can avoid. Yeah, we double the damage gain with the other. Sure. And then more selects just goes on the bottom line. Actually, goes on the bottom line and chump blocks. These are the problems, right? God, I wish this was infused. Can't even make it infused with anything right now, unfortunately. Okay. Let's get that out there. Then I'm gonna Wretch. Getting back exactly the same units to use again. I may even end up just using Shelter on the bottom line here to pop both of those. But then I can't use an Echo transfer here on the top floor. I think I do want the Echo transfer more, actually. Yeah, because both the Cool Marksman and the Clips Conduit just die as they ascend here anyway. A particularly good artifact for us right now would be when, or rather the top floor begins with a candy that cannot be removed. That would be incredible for us. So your HP is 118. So if I can get above 118 in a single hit, I deal significantly more damage to the Clips Guard in the backline. I don't know if I can do that, but heck, let's give it a go. That's a no on that. That's a no on whether or not that is possible. But I only take 20 damage to it, so can't be too sad. Again, this should have been a chump block situation, 100%. Because I wouldn't even pay anything, frankly, to do it. Okay. Barrels. Spit that out there. You go there. You go there. Make it all simple. Forgotten trade. Again, we chump block there. And feeling pretty confident. That'll do it. 150, we find returned soul, eh? God. Soul Crushing Guild is really good, and it's got Seraph the Patient at the very end, and all that jazz. I'll tell you this, by the way, the TLD fight we're still going to want to set up on the top floor. Thank heck we have winged technology, because without that, the morsels would all just die. Returned soul. It's 2 infusions on lock. Gives me the ability to even pull back an Echo Transfer and then blow up the Echo Transfer. Because I can't use all of those right now. Gives me the ability to pull back Fractures and then blow them up. Gives me the ability to pull back Shade Splitters and Brilliant. I think it'd be short-sighted not to take it. Oh dear. How many morsels per turn can I eat? 3. But if I don't have a morsel to sacrifice every turn, if I don't have anything to sacrifice every turn, this is rough. Obviously, there is a second copy of Wretch here, but I'm looking at the Void Binding more closely right now. The fact that it has Damage Shield 2 is the big consideration here. That's how I survive. I think we're in another position where I actually don't need this. Yep, taking the money. When's our first morsel merchant of trinkets? Gotta be in the next one, right? Yeah. Up against an unstable vortex, so I don't want to spend too much money here. Merchant of Steel, obviously, I can't necessarily utilize too effectively, so we're gonna be going over in this direction. There's the holdover. Huh. Or, heck, I could even hold over one of the Void Bindings, the 0-costed one. So it would be this, and then remove its cost, and then look for double stack on the other one. That's starting to limit... Like, I only draw 3 new cards a turn after doing that, and that really starts to limit my ability to generate morsels. But am I getting more from the Void Binding or from morsels? I'm getting more from the Void Binding, aren't I? Hold over. Cost Reduct. Plus 10 can't even hit anything. Yeah, reroll. My god, we actually did find the double stack. Okay. Then cost reduce another Shade Splitter. We actually may not even need another Merchant of Magic in this game. Oh, that hurts. Obviously, I can't do Volatile Gauge. Obviously. It's an Emberdray deck. Sketches of Salvation just puts Alloyed Construct on a floor that is actually worse for them. Like, it gets them 2 fewer morsels. And obviously, they stand on the middle floor rather than the top floor. It is weird to see 2 of the most powerful artifacts in the game and go, get the hell out of here. Spells with Consume have a chance to be discarded instead. Conscription Notice is not bad here. Just pop that on the same floor as the Spine Chief. There's no problem with that. Wing Clippings gives us the ability to possibly get back. Well, it gives us back the Return Soul hit consistently as well. Well, not consistently. Inconsistently. 50% of the time. Pack Morsel could even go on that top floor. It feels like this is okay. This is okay as well. But this has a little bit of a better time trying to patch up weak spots for us. No, I can't pay for a removal. We've got Merchant Trinkets in the next area already scouted that ahead. Let's go. This is going to be a problem. Self-Made Harpy has Multi-Strike 4, which is a lot of multi-strike. Gain reward 150, non-boss enemies gain 6 additional. That's not going to matter. Most of it's going to be against our damage shield, but the problem is the Self-Made Harpy is not going to be against our damage shield because it's going to just shred our damage shield. So that's going to be a problem. All right, Spine Chieftain, what do you got? Not awful. Pretty close, though, because the Master of Light is just going to eventually sweep through it, but not awful. But again, pretty close, though. Yeah, we have the Alloyed Construct. You can just go down first. Because I do want you to dupe all of the pack morsels, so. And I'm going to target you with the Perils of Production. There's no concern here on my part. projects 5 through the back line. That's nice. I love having that much fuel there on the top line as well. There's that great one. Annoyingly, I can't kill the Collector there. However, if I cast Fracture, I do kill the Quill Marksman. On the target on the bottom floor? No. Let's do it here. Preventing that Quill Marksman's 2 damage. 2 instances of damage rather coming out is pretty important here. Nine Emberdray. Expected. This big boy is sweeping up the Branded Warrior itself. That is a not good right there. That is a bad. That is an unfortunate. God, it is really, really hard to get the infusions that I need up here. 5 to the front. One of them is going to die because Eclipse Shaman blows up on it as well, but this is the price you pay for love. And I want to win. Bit of a bold claim immediately, because now if I don't win, I'm going to look silly as heck. Echo the transfer. There's our Wretch. I want Gorge. That's what I want. I want the ability to actually feast on them. That's why I wanted Morsel Maid. I wanted to put Morsel Maid into the yellowed construct so that it would just feast. Oh my god. Wait, no. Yes? No. Wait, no. Yes? No. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. For some reason, I was like, oh, I can take a bunch of the Self-Made Harpy's time, but I don't need to do that to the Self-Made Harpy. You need to do it to the enemies that have, like, you know, Rage, Regen, Sweep, Lifesteal, things like that, Stealth. But you don't care. You do not give a single hoot what I do. More HP on that top floor makes a lot of sense. So 6x7. 6x7 is 42. So I now survive. The problem is multiple stacks of lifesteal isn't incredible here either. Yeah, because I'll lose all the lifesteal while I have my damage shield back still up, because I've got so much multi-strike. So yeah, I don't want to go with that. Make a morsel out there, saving another block. And then just rubble, toil and trouble. Nice. Wow, that was actually a lot closer than I was hoping. I knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, but I kind of suspected I was going to be a little bit more okay than that. All right, return soul. Why don't you return a soul? Nice. Chump block with all those. Feeling pretty confident about this deck so far. Revenge of the Damned. Infuse, extract 1, deal 5 damage twice. So it's an infused with extract 1, which means I can cast it even without. It slays to give 2 candies on the floor. It's a great card for trying to take out that bottom line consistently. It's up against Force Contamination, but again, right? Force Contamination eventually is far more damage for us than playing another Echo Transfer. But I can't wait until then. Soul Siphon's not awful. That's not what we need. Am I going to another Merchant of Magic ever? Trinkets, almost certainly. I could go to a Merchant of Magic all the way down here. The idea is that this Grovel is a way to get damage shield whilst also getting minions. If I like double cost reduce it, it's really easy to put into the deck. Because I don't really have like a good density of Eden units returning until like I give this holdover or something like that. But even then, that doesn't happen until I go to a Merchant of Magic. I think I take the Grovel. Definitely go over here. Entertained the idea of the other one for a moment there, but no. False Banners. Cheetah's Hand. Cheetah's Hand is pretty good. Decide a card that I'm just going to use on the next turn. Let's remove both Shiny Sewers from the deck now. Usually I'd be all over Hell's Banners, but again, we already have all of the energy that we require. In our opening hand, we guarantee that we will have all the energy required. So I'm not too concerned. To be entirely honest though, I look at that Cheetah's Hand, and what I'm mainly thinking right now is, God, I wish I could take the Cheetah's Hand, reroll, and then try and find something. But I can't do that safely. The only thing I can do is reroll if I'm doing that, instead of taking the Cheetah's Hand. I actually think I'm going to do that. Because there are so many things that give us more candies, and I desperately need them right now. I'm going to save my money. We've got a Merchant of Trinkets in the next area as well. None of those, like, don't get me wrong. Any of those could have been useful. Are they more useful than the possible other artifacts I could get in the next Merchant of Trinkets? I suspect not. I strongly suspect not. Okay, Spine Chief definitely goes up one line. Nameless Siren. I think I could even use the Nameless Siren for chump blocking right here. Wouldn't feel too bad about that. This nets nothing, so I can use that to damage the Quill Marksman. And will. We can chump with some of that, because we're already getting a ridiculous amount of damage out of it. Getting to a perfect amount of damage up there on the top floor. It's Shade Split there. This one's not going to be a chump block. I just need the damage shields out of those. Okay. And single Fracture on the back line gets that kill. And then a Fracture on the front line gets the kills across the board there. Beautiful. Bottom line doesn't have to live forever, honestly. It's just living until we get the top line in order. This gives us the ability to Echo Transfer here, roll a morsel out, and then pop that backliner. Wow, I still haven't found any of my Void Bindings. I want to dupe this so damn badly. There's a Concealed Cabin here. I would happily dupe it 5 times. Happily. I would do that instantly and without concern. Okay. Let's return soul. I think what I'm going to want to do here is get back an echo transfer. Pop that. And then fracture, fracture. That is the swan song of our bottom line right there. Gonna burn out as many of those as well because they're not super relevant anymore. Beautiful. Finally, we get the void bindings at the very bottom of the deck, but we get them nonetheless. We get these. I'll use one morsel to double block that incoming. Might happen. Should have done it again there, actually. Would have saved us a single hit. So I'm definitely going draw after this. Right? I don't see another way around that. $12 damage shield there. That's good. Projecting a lot of damage as well. The TLD fight has more enemies than this. How do I deal with that? 5 enemies per floor? How do I deal with 5 enemies per floor? Gonna need to use spells. Gonna need to use something like that. I don't want to form a second floor. This is very late to try and form a second floor, and it would have to be something like another alloyed construct, literally, right? Just like a dupe of the alloyed construct. I have to be able to deal with 5 enemies in a row. One of them will always be quite weak. Piercing spells is a solution to at least one. If you're wondering why I'm taking so much time here, it's because I'm deciding if the Spine Chief also goes on the top floor. And if it does, I have to take capacity here. So the Spine Chief would literally just be sitting behind the alloyed construct, providing its reap benefit to the whole floor as a kind of sweeping effect. Gosh. I'll tell you, there is one thing that stops me from having to do that, and it's finding a trample stone after this fight. Please. Please, Umbra. You'll love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. When it's spelled with Consumer's Blade, gain 1. We can do that on the top floor. We can do that on top floor turn 1. How many times do we do? Oh, well, the Return Soul makes us do it a little more consistently. Obviously, we're going to do it with the Umbra Stone as well. Okay, sure. It's worth. Is it worth? Because I take it and re-roll, and I'm left with 270. That can buy almost any relic. Okay, we're fine. Gorge abilities trigger an additional time. I actually... You saw my eyes go very wide as soon as I saw it, and then realized, hang on. That's trash. I mean, look, I could take Echo Seedling. but it's duping nothing for me. Start a battle, add 2 to each floor as well. Wow. Okay. Divine Temple Intrinsic? Intrinsic Spell Chain! Oh, sheesh. Intrinsic Spell Chain. Here's the problem. I want Umbra Stone Intrinsic. I want Echo Transfer Intrinsic Spell Chain. Because my opening hand is guaranteed to be, at least with the deck as we have it currently, a Perils of Production, Spine Chief, the Alloyed Construct, then the Perils of Production. And I think those are the 4 guaranteed cards, right? Yeah, those are the 4 guaranteed cards at the moment. So one of those consumes. Actually, I don't even have the energy in the opening hand to play the Umbra Stone if I make an intrinsic here. Oh, no, I do. I do. I've got Perils of Production in the opening hand. So let's go back to this for a second, right? Because if this was Echo infused, I would be able to get an extra ridiculous amount of damage on that top floor in the first turn. Is it damage? Or is it trample that I need most early? In the TLD fight, it's trample. Before then, it's damage. The fact I can make this intrinsic as well as spell chain is everything. Okay, and then here. I don't think I take Echo Seedling. I actually may just save my money again. Why? Why? I can't do that. Can I? Make it 2 size larger. Literally, that just denies it 2 morsels. I don't even fill it with morsels every turn. It has so much more survivability if I do this. I don't like that I had to do that, to be clear. But I think it was definitely correct. If I bought rationing scale, I would lose 80, 83, so 240. So this is positive 30. That's not positive enough for me. I try to be more positive than that. Non-boss enemy units restore all of their health when they move up a floor. They may well do, but they will lose all of it when they get to the top. So saith I. Sick. Okay. Let's get you health. I'll get you damage shield later. Make an echo transfer you 2 times. Gives me the ability to play a shade split down here. Trying to propagate damage through the purifier as best as possible. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived. I don't need to continue that. I like singing on the channel. I've been doing it for a really long period of time. Obviously, the recent recent Ladder Streak opener. That was, If you saw that, and especially if you saw that and you commented something kind, deeply appreciated. It's extremely deeply appreciated. There was even one person in the comments who like perfectly recognized the entire situation along the lines of, one sec. Oh, I guess that's kind of where I need to go with it. Sure. Along the lines of like, I know Rhapsody said before he's a shy singer and doesn't necessarily get to show something on the channel, but I put a lot of myself into it. And they were right. They were right. And it has certainly felt easier since that video, and especially since the response to that video, so again, thank you. Alright, that's the overly saccharine stuff done. Let's get back to the video game. You can go there. Let's go there too. That's not piercing or anything like that. And I could get a pierce-ish kind of effect out of it if I really wanted to, but I don't need to. Fine. Just keep setting up on the top floor. Safely. Then I can do that against myself. Just give you no instances of damage where I can avoid them. We've got 5 damage shields up here. You're not multi-striking, so you have absolutely bucklies here, mate. Is that like a commonly used thing elsewhere? Bucklies? As in, you've got Buckley's chance, you've got no chance? I've only ever heard one person say it in my entire life. And that is how I learned it initially as well, from that person. So it might have just been part of their idiolect, right? And not necessarily even a commonly said thing. I'll pass those. Don't need any of them. There's the feast I was asking for, but I need feast less now. Unless I have Gorge in every hand, and I don't have Gorge in every hand. Excavation Eruption's a little hard to use as well. Gem Drove would actually be hilarious if I could. But I guess I would just make Grovel holdover in that same instance. I don't think I can feast. Need 2 copies of holdover and then I get no new cards every hand. What's that? That's nothing. That's what that is. Okay, I found the holdover. Oops. As it turns out, the answer to that is whoops. Start a turn, add a common or uncommon morsel of the hand. Hell yeah. We could even shadow box. I'm not going to, but we could. But I won't. Take the Antumbra. Oh yeah, of course. Now I don't even get the holdover from this. I can't make that intrinsic, can I? What was the other in here? God, it was as well. What are you doing, game? And there's a value stone? What? Oh my god. Yeah, reduce the cost of that because I have excess energy on the first turn, so that makes the most sense. I have the ability to purge a card as well. I'm certainly going to utilize my right in that. God, another Echo Transfer? It's not even that difficult to do. No, it's Void Binding. It's 100% Void Binding, and then purge a card that is not Void Binding. Get out of here, Fracture! Let's do it. Let's do it to it. So we want to get as much damage shield on that top line as is humanly possible. So, how much is that? That Spine Chief on the bottom line. That Animus of Speed is incredible here, actually. Let's get the Constant down. There's no reason to hold off on resolutions of these. So Echo Transfer, Max Morsels. Lifesteal? No, Lifesteal's not the way I'm going to go with this. I go Morsel Miner on Tumbra, and then the Wretches are going to be really good up here on the top line. We go with that. Still do want morsels on the bottom as well. Sorry, morsels. I want charged echoes here on the bottom, wherever I can get them. That seems kind of free as well. So this is a good spot for the morsel excavator and the rubble morsel then, if we are going for both of these on the top line, which we are. So we need as much damage shield as we can get up here, as Alpha mentioned. Nice damage shield. Do I need to play anything else up here? If I can avoid it this turn, I should avoid it this turn. I can just put the Perils of Production on bottom line. No problem with that. Give it its holdover for the next turn. Let's do precisely that. I mean, there's no reason for me to even hold Forgotten Trade. Pretty good shelter. So yeah, I'm always going to need to stay ahead of the enemy in terms of damage shielding here. Thankfully, because we got the extra copy of the card that I cannot find for the life of me, Void Binding, by the way, into the deck, we should be okay with it. Give up. What's up? Pick up. There's even more defense for us. In fact, I want to Revenge of the Damned. Well, I can't even Revenge of the Damned on ball line, so yes, I think is the answer to that one then. Echo Transfer. What would I even be pulling back right now? Probably the other Echo Transfer, if I had to guess. Get rid of it. There we go. Good damage. Hit him with the Void Bindings. Bind them all the way up. Again, chomp chomp. Aha! Chomp chomp to you, sir. I return a soul here in a way that's useful. I mean, I can guess it can be Shade Splitter. Play that as well. Get even more. Let's chump block. See if that saves anyone. It doesn't save anyone. It didn't need to save anyone, to be entirely frank with you. We have saved ourselves. Okay, I don't need to lay it on that floor. Chump blocks. Mid-fame. Let's use the Morsel Excavator, I think. Okay, and then we can just throw you two on that line. And sure, Fracture. So what's my damage shield on this top line now? Sorry, not my damage shield, my melee weakness is 2. I thought it would be higher than that. I got 14 damage shield though, so I feel confident. Quite confident, in fact. Too confident, in fact. Alright, Wretch, what do you got? Just looking for damage shields and health. Rage. Also. Thankfully, none of these really have slay triggers, which would be the worst. And Seraph the Patient has decided to join the fight. Welcome. It's good to see you. Let's see exactly how well we can do here. So you come to the top floor, you got 2.4, ideal 9, so it takes me 3 instances to kill you. You do a single instance of damage, we got the damage. Yeah, okay, we have one. At least this fight. Obviously, we've got one more coming up in the near future. Ooh, a jeweler! I was almost just going to play one of these because I was like, I'm going to get another rubber morsel. I did not get another rubber morsel. I did get the jeweler. Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No bones about it. This big dog gonna run. Block him. Block him. Kill him. Nice. Alright, TLD. What are you gonna say about that? Anything in particular? Lost Divinity has different status effects on each floor. Gains +7 and Relentless. Or gains +7 when it goes Relentless. Alright, Chief. Powerful Thugba. Behind you. I don't know why I take so long to consider the order of this. It should just be normal. I think it's just I have a bunch of cards in hand. I'm like, there's got to be an ordering consideration here that I need to make. But no, because I want as much Emberdray as possible. There really isn't. Not a huge fan of the absolute least. Alright. Co-transfer. I am going to want to actually put, like, a fair few of these on the bottom line. I think I can still play packed morsels up here at the absolute least, though. So Shade Splitter should be down here. I'm going to chump block with you, and then I get these up here on the top line. Chump blocking doesn't matter because the enemy is using sweep. And then I think the idea is just fracture, shelter here. I mean, like, I could put them on the boss, but that's a great reason to do so. Alright. Perils of Production. And again, I'm going to need costs here on the bottom line at least. Don't have piercing, but frankly that should probably actually be enough right now. Especially because I'm going to be retching on the top line, so we can get back the exact same ones that we just used. 2 more sex games? Oh, the second one should be cardless. Right? I shouldn't have those. Not all of them, at least. Strange. Alright. Tumbra. One of them. Oh, here's a fun one. Use the Revenge of the Damned to actually kill my own unit there, just to get a lot more reap on that floor. It's actually sweeping that whole floor right now. That's pretty sick. If I use another Fracture here, in fact, it'll get those as well. My most powerful floor isn't even being invoked yet. That's a pretty good feeling. It's like winning with your hands tied behind your back. Although I probably should have cast something down there that turn. Let's chump block. Yeah. I'm gonna regret that. Ooh, best believe. Okay. Shade Splitter gets cast on the bottom line. And then buff you. Shade Splitter gets cast on the bottom line. Chump block with one. Probably don't chump block with the second one. No, chump block with the second one as well. Uh-oh. Look at my damage for that top line right now, and I'm noticing a severe lack. What would Return to Soul even return? This time? Fracture, I guess. Just get one out of the deck. Damage morsels aren't even going to try and attack. Block 32 damage here on the bottom line with the roll morsel, or get 2 more fuel as well as +1, +2/+2. When you put it like that, it makes it pretty clear which of the two options I should take. Okay. Void the bind, grovel there, give him that, give him that, give him that. Throw that at the back line, huh? Why? What's occurred there? Because this line is a lot of damage. I need to amp both my health and damage, so I think I'm actually sacking a Divine Shield here. That chump block actually just buffed the enemies, by the way. Should have been more considerate about that. I'm getting my damage through, but I have lost all of my damage shield there. In doing so. And now I'm not losing so much. As soon as I play that Wretch, by the way, I'm never drawing anything again that is not a morsel. So I should be very careful. The unfortunate thing is that my chump blocks on this floor actually oh god, do I die in the next line? Because I've got damage shielding. My chump blocks on this floor will actually buff all of the enemies, giving them the harvest, right? 15 armor to all friendly units, so I can't really chump block. You're kidding me. Why are they dying? Oh, because you're sweeping double. That's really annoying. Thankfully, I still get the ability to drive the damage through all of them there, but my god. No harvest triggers on that bottom floor. There's slay triggers here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I'll just throw triggers down there as well. I'm so glad I had the trample stone, otherwise that was going to be my death right there as well. Okay. Void. Buff. We generate with both of these. Strike the Damned isn't even going to do well on that bottom line. Not anymore, at least. It's the chump block, obviously. Then we take the damage up. No real reason to play that, or no real reason not to either. More damage shields. More damage shields. Health. Echo transfer. Purge. Purge. Chop. That'll do it. Couldn't find the lid for that bottle. That one's just going to go down to the ground for the moment, but for the moment as well. My name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train The Last Divinity. We have knocked out in the last 2 episodes 2 of our remaining completions, both with the Wormkin as our lead. Let's get a little bit of a hint as to what we're going to be going into in the next episode, courtesy of our end screen here. That would be Echo Right with Annie Follow of Melting Remnant right there. Echo Right with Annie Follow of Melting Remnant. All right. Keen. Can hardly wait. For the moment. Let's run summary and summon this up here. So that I can say that my name like, there's a few ways around this one, right? Like, lads, I know you've got your postal routes, and I know there's a big rush for musical instruments at the moment. I've obviously set up the entire thing behind it. But we found that a lot of them are fragile. So I'm soliciting any posting drums ideas, because those things tear. My name's been Rhapsody. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.